Good Wednesday evening to you all. Welcome into Around the Diamond here on the Rec Room Sports Hub. I am AP Alan Perales, joined as always by Mr. Jonathan Grishman and the Hall of Famer himself, Mr. Scott Cope, who is currently in disbelief.
When does football start? Anybody know when football starts?
Uh,
After October, when my Braves win the World Series, that's when it starts.
Okay, that's fine with me. That's fine with me. I hope the Braves win the World Series, Jonathan, to be honest with you. The Nats, the Nationals, they were in my top 10. They are now no longer in my top 10. You are up 9-1 going into the bottom of the eighth inning, and you lose that game on a walk-off grand slam to the Giants.
That is
11-10. Come on now.
To a rookie too.
To a
rookie kid. Bryce Eldridge comes up, hits the game-winning grand slam in the bottom of the ninth. That's
crazy. The Atlanta Braves could sleep for the rest of the year and win this division. That's how bad the rest of the division is. Except the Phillies. I'm telling you, the Nationals bullpen. If you're behind going into the eighth inning by 2 runs or whatever, don't worry. They'll take care of you. They'll hand deliver you wins.
We knew. We knew that the pitching was going to be the downfall of the Nationals this year. They've been competitive because of their offense, but they traded off again. I know Mackenzie Gore hasn't done a lot for them for the Rangers this year, but again, you traded your ace. Your pitching staff. You have a lot. Your pitching staff is mostly guys who are in Single A and Double A right now that are in the future that are not quite ready in the big leagues for you yet. So they're having to at least endure a couple of years. It's going to be a couple of years unless they make some moves to at least help their pitching staff. But if 2026 was never going to be about their pitching that was going to make them competitive, it was the offense and getting the development of James Woods and getting the development of C.J. Abrams and hoping Dylan Cruz can continue his development. And then you're planning out here in 2 years that your pitching staff, the young guys that you do have in your in the farm, can develop and be able to be competitive. But we've known that their pitching in Washington has not been good all year. Bad to the point where you're blowing a lead like that to the Giants, which has been abysmal all year. I agree with you, Scott. There's no excuse.
There's no excuse for it.
But as I quote the late Denny Green, they are who we thought they were, and they are who they are.
I like the Nationals a lot. I think their young talent is going to be really good in the next, as you said, John, the 2 years, 2028 and going forward. I think they could be a factor in the National League. Now, were they going to take down the Dodgers and Braves and Brewers? Probably not. But I think they're on that next level in the National League. Or it could be in Major League Baseball. I mean, we don't know, but they're young and they're good. And C.J. Abrams has come of age quickly. I love watching that guy play. He's phenomenal. But again, bullpen. Again, Nationals pitching. You cannot give up leads like that. You just can't do it. I'm sorry.
Isn't it eerily familiar to a certain bullpen we've seen in Texas for the last few years? Where it's like, oh, we'll just put up like 6-7 runs, and then the bullpen gives up like 9. The last 2 innings.
You can't beat the Royals in a game. There's a problem.
Yeah,
there's a problem.
The Royals are beating us again right now with Mackenzie.
Oh, are they really?
On the mound. With Mackenzie Gore on the mound tonight, by the way. So
yeah, and as Jonathan just said, what has he done for the Rangers this year? Not much.
And here's the thing: the offense is actually starting to heat up a little bit. It's actually gotten better over the course of the last month. The pitching has been a problem. Like in these series against your division opponents, especially the Astros. The Astros are a complete dumpster fire, and you lose 2 of 3 to that team, like that's almost inexcusable. And then you come back and it's like, okay, you're going to put up 8 runs on the Guardians, a team that's being competitive right now. Come on, what team are we getting this year? Like, it's crazy.
Jonathan, you might agree with me on this. Alan, when Tanner Bybee has not won a game in 13 games and faces the Rangers
and wins a game
and shuts them out, I don't know what's going on in Texas. You can't let that guy do that. I mean,
literally, we won two games of those series, and none of those had involved Tanner Bybee. I'm like, how?
I mean, look at all the teams on the Let's Talk Sports Network and Rec Room Network. Cubs lose to the Rockies last night. Rangers lose to the Royals last night. Red Sox got blown out by the Rays. And the White Sox walked off the Braves last night, which was, I mean, it's just the bottom barrel team. Well, the White Sox aren't bottom barrel, at least to this point. But the bottom barrel teams are beating the best of or really good teams. That says a lot about what's going on in baseball this year, I think, for a lot of teams.
Yeah, but again, I've been enjoying the downfall of the American League, from last year and now even more so that this year. I'm very much enjoying where we're at right now. That we're looking at the Chicago White Sox percentage points ahead of the Cleveland Guardians right now.
I know.
The AL Central. We're looking at, the Mariners are ahead in 3 games, but the Sacramento A's, the traveling A's, Las Vegas A's, whatever you want to call them, they're going to be here the next few years. They're 3.5 behind the Mariners in the AL West. The Tampa Bay Rays are percentage points ahead of the Yankees. And I'm looking at it real quick right now. If I can count it out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams in the American League are all above 500.
Yep.
Only 5. That's it. This is, I again, being a National League, being the Braves fan as I am, I love this because we have seen the dominance of the American League for so long, and that's all we've heard in baseball realms of the National League can never match and compete with the American League. But what we're saying, I think I will say parity in the American League is even. But the problem here is if you look, who's the dominant team? Who's the team that's being feared? There is no team that's being feared. So that's why we have the White Sox in there. We have the A's that are in there. Heck, I mean, Allen's talking bad about his Rangers. The Rangers are 3 games behind the Mariners for first place.
The Mariners are getting beat right now.
Cleveland's ace Tanner Bybee has not been good this year. They're percentage points tied with the White Sox. The Minnesota Twins, again, they're 8 games under 500. They're in third place in the American League Central, 6 games back. I mean,
yep.
Where is the talent? And I'm going to refer this to you guys because y'all are American League fans. What happened? What's going on in the American League? Why is the National League has transitioned so hard to being the dominant factor of baseball, Major League Baseball, that the American League looks like it looks like it's AAA based off of how they continue to play against each other and the talent levels there.
Pitching is terrible in the American League, up and down across the board. It's bad. I mean, take the Yankees out of it because the Yankees have an all-star pitching staff, starting 5. Rays, I mean, Drew Rasmussen pitched a great game today, but that was against the Red Sox. It's a minor league team. Red Sox don't have anybody right now that's doing anything. Rangers really don't have anybody that's really setting the world on fire. Mariners are starting to get it together. I would say the Mariners are starting to get it together. But in the American League, who scares you? The Mariners don't scare me. If I'm the Braves or Dodgers, if I'm in the World Series against the Mariners, they don't scare me. Yankees, they don't scare me. I mean, really, they don't. They got 40-something wins, but they don't scare me right now. So if I'm in the National League, Braves Dodgers could be the World Series, and that's the NLCS probably. As of right now, it's the NLCS.
And that's where I know we're going to talk trade here in a little bit. I think the only 2 arms race we're going to deal with when it comes to trade moves is Braves and Dodgers. Yeah. Who makes the bigger moves of those 2 teams? Right. Because again, Brewers can make a move, but will they make a move? They could, but their history tells us they won't.
They won't.
So the Phillies could try to make a move. We know they have the money, and they'll try to do what they can as long as they're in the wild card conversation, and they're right now 2nd place in the wild card. So we know that they'll probably make a move. But it does eliminate the other big market teams, the Mets. They're not going to make a move. The Nationals, we know they're not going to make a move. The Cardinals, I don't see the Cardinals making a move. Pirates may, but again, are they going to want to spend the money to do it? We know that's not the case. Cubs are in 4th place, 8 games back. What are they going to do? Are they going to sell? They're going to buy. Like, I don't think they'll buy. Padres, maybe the Padres are 8 games back of the Dodgers now. American League teams, I'm looking at the American. I mean, Rays could buy. Yankees will buy. Blue Jays are basically going to be out of it, 8.5 back right now. Baltimore Red Sox, White Sox could. Cleveland could, but that's it because Detroit wants to sell. Twins probably will sell. The American League West, Seattle probably will be the only team in the American League West to make a move to add. Maybe the A's. But so the 2 teams, it's a 2-team arms race between Braves and Dodgers at the deadline. Who makes the bigger moves that puts them up in that conversation, as you said, become the favorites to win the World Series out of those 2 teams in the NL?
Tanner said this he was on with Nick the other night. They were talking Chiefs. They got into the Royals. The Royals are 5 games out of the wild card at that point. 5 games out.
The Rangers. We talked about the Rangers earlier, Scott. They're 2 games under 500. They're the final wild card team right now.
That's bad.
That's how bad the American League is right now.
The Royals could sneak into a wild card spot, and they're a bad baseball team right now.
I mean, especially if for somehow reason they sweep Texas this series, absolutely, they're back in it.
If you're an American League team and you go on a 12 out of 16 game winning streak, you could find yourself at second in the wild card race, like the Red Sox.
If you're in the AL Central, you could be a division leader at that point, or the
Red
AL
Sox,
West.
if they go 13-3 in the next 16 games, they could find themselves in the wild card. They're a bad baseball team. They're flawed. These teams are flawed. I don't know how many players the National League teams would want off these teams. Chapman won, yes. Duran, another one for the Red Sox, yes. I know why you're smiling, Jonathan. He's going to the Braves. I know he's going to the Braves.
You get Jordan from Houston, probably.
Tanner Bybee? Does anybody want to touch Tanner Bybee?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Does anybody want to touch a Rangers pitcher right now? Probably not. Probably not. I mean, there's some bad pitching in the American League. Mariners aren't giving up any of their pitching. We know that. White Sox, nobody's going to touch. I mean, the White Sox aren't going to sell. They got a chance to win the division right now. They're not going to sell. So this American League is really flawed.
Scooble's probably the only starting pitcher in the American League that will be moved because we know that's going to happen.
Yes.
Royals. I don't think there's anybody in the Royals that you're going to be really excited about.
Maybe Cole Reagans. Maybe. Where
you look at it and say, "Hey, it's like a change of scenery." Because again, the Braves have made moves with the Rockies players. Before Pierce Johnson was a 7 ERA guy, they traded for him with a single A pitcher, and he becomes one of the best bullpen arms in that stretch in 2024 in their postseason run. In the last 2 months, so a change of scenery is always can always be positive. It's a matter of it's the right scenario and the right situation to go with. The culture is strong enough that pitcher or player kind of just fits in so well, and it makes a difference. So if you're looking at the talent side of things, I think if you look at it in that way, well, who's out there to help? But I think if you're one of these, if you're Braves and Dodgers and Brewers, and you're looking at potential fits for your team and the culture that you established, you can add a guy and say, yeah, look, we understand that you were at a bad situation. Well, guess what? You're now at a good situation, and it does wonders. It does a lot of good, for a player that is in a more positive environment because you're winning. You're on a team that wins. So I could see again. That's why I think we'll see. Tarek Skubal is going to get traded. Who does he get traded to?
Do you want him if you're a Braves backer? Do you want him for a half a season?
No, I'm not. I'm like Alex Anthopoulos. I don't want to trade for a rental that's going to cost me 3 to 4 prospects. That's what the Tigers are going to want. They're going to want 3 top prospects and probably a 4th one just to throw in there to make it to satisfy me as a sweetener. And knowing that I'm not signing Skubal at the end of the season. I'm not really for that. If I'm going to trade a rental, it's going to be 2 prospects. That's it. And I'll give you 2 top 10, but I'm not giving you, my number 1 and number 3 and number 7 and throw in my number 12 guy on my list for a guy who I know who's not going to help us after this season. I get it. It's about the championship this year when the window is wide open for you. But what the Braves have done for 30 plus years is you find ways to extend the window.
Yep.
And you keep the window open for 5 years. So would I be mad if Tarek Skubal was the trade that the Braves did make? No, I'm not going to be mad about that because, again, now we have two dominant lefties that are going to lead the pitching staff into the postseason, and we have the arms now to really match up with the Dodgers when we face them in the NLCS and go from there with it. I think there's better situations to trade for that won't cost the arm and a leg, and you can get equal production when it matters most.
You would be mad at the compensation the Braves would give up to get him.
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. That I would be too.
Yeah.
I'd be too.
Yeah, I would not. Yeah. Also, why the hell is Brandon Nimmo batting third? Like, why not?
Because here's what happens with these teams. I've noticed this more and more.
No, he's batting fourth. Never mind. I'm sorry. He's batting fourth. That's even worse.
These managers are desperate. Some of them are desperate right now. They're really desperate. They're trying to either jumpstart their offense or they're trying to do something to jumpstart their complete team. So I've seen lineups that I'm like, huh, what the heck is this? So this is what managers are doing in the American League. They're trying to jumpstart their team by switching up the line. It's almost like you put 9 guys in a hat and you pick them out. Okay, batter number 1 is such and such. Number 2, Nimmo's 4th, Seager's 7th. It just seems like that's what they're trying to do. I mean, it's so bad right now. Baseball.
Like you basically brought Brandon Nimmo to be your replacement for Marcus Semien as a leadoff guy, and obviously as an outfield arm to replace Garcia. But
yeah,
now you're hitting him fourth because out of all the hitters on this team, he's actually one of the more decent ones. So it's like,
Yep.
I thought you think the name of the game is get guys on base so that these power hitters can drive them in. It's like
not in the American League, Alan. We know that. Not in the American League. It's not this year.
And you just got Seager back. So it's like put Nimmo on base, have Seager hit him to third or something.
That's like if the Red Sox said Isaiah Kiner left for 4th in the lineup against the Rays. Oop, they almost did today. Chad Tracy was thinking about it, he said.
And Zeke Duran might be the only all-star on this Rangers team, and he's hitting 6th, 7th in this lineup. Like, what the hell?
6'7". 6'7".
Yeah.
Oh, stop it.
Stop. I mean, since we're still in the trade conversation, I mean, obviously you two have interesting chats the last couple of weeks.
Jonathan has said a couple of things on the post, but he's
a lot of Aroldis Chapman talk going to Atlanta.
He's going there. It's just I think the Red Sox are trying to, and the Braves are trying to work out a compensation package for it. I think he's going to the Braves. And there's too much smoke right now going on. I mean, the Red Sox are just here. You go, Braves. You want to face the Dodgers in the NLCS.
Can I just throw that? Can I throw this out there just to give you all the visualization that I have here? That if you have Chris Sale on the mound going 5-6 innings, you only need Sale to go 5 innings. All right, we'll throw Dylan Lee out there for 1 inning in the 6th. Then we throw Aroldis Chapman in the 7th, or we can go like this: Dylan Lee, then Roberto Suarez in the 7th, Chapman in the 8th. And then Iglesias or Sale Iglesias in the 9th, because they promised Iglesias is going to retire at the end of the season. He's on a 1-year deal. He's going to retire at the end of this year. So they promised him he would be the closer. And then you have Roberto Suarez next year taking over the closer role. But you bring in Aroldis Chapman, and you can mix match and say, hey, we'll do Lee, Suarez, Chapman, Iglesias. We can do Suarez, Chapman, Lee, Iglesias. And that's your last 4 innings. By all means. Good luck.
Remember in the heyday, the Yankees were a 6-inning club. If you didn't get to them by the 6th inning, the game was over.
Yeah.
The same thing with the Braves if they get Chapman. If you don't get to them by the 6th inning, the game is over if they're in the lead. Because these guys won't give up runs. They just won't.
I mean, we already have the best bullpen ERA wise. We already have the best bullpen in Major League Baseball. You throw in Aroldis Chapman with the flexibility. You have three guys. You have three guys that can be closers. And really, I mean, Dylan Lee could be a closer if he had more time to practice to train at it. They threw Didier Fuentes in there as a closer the other day, and he was lights out as a closer. So I mean, you're allowing guys to just get the chance to do it. But again, if you need Iglesias to have 2 days off, okay, Suarez, go take it off. You were the best closer in 2025 with the Padres, and you're using him as a setup guy and say, okay, hey, Suarez, it's your turn to close the game if we need you to.
But here's the thing it will do for the Braves is basically Walt Weiss and the pitching coach can go to the starters and say, go all out for 5 innings. We only need you for 5 or 6 innings. Go all out, throw as hard as you want, because guess what? Our bullpen is the best in baseball, and we'll back you up. We'll get you a lead. We'll get you a win. We'll get you 6 innings and out, and that's it. And then when playoffs come, that's the well-rested starting pitching rotation in all of baseball is the Braves.
By the way,
and then those guys can go 7.
The decline of American League pitching continues. Seth Lugo just got injured off a comebacker, and he just got taken out of the game. So,
yeah, I mean, Lugo's an innings eater for the Royals. I mean, there goes another. If he goes on IL, I mean, it's the Royals. I get it. They haven't been good this year, but you know what? He eats innings. And that's what they ask him to do. So,
what's up, Danny?
Hey, Danny, what's up? So, yeah, the American League, you can't afford to lose any pitcher. You're pitching so bad and so thin right now. It's sickening. Sickening.
Yeah, Lugo got taken out. So, yeah, that sucks for Kansas City.
All right, Alan, let's talk about the real reason why we have the show tonight. Go ahead.
Oh no!
Baseball is.
I'm not bragging. I'm not bragging because I looked at what side of the bracket we're on,
it's not pretty.
Oklahoma, Georgia, Texas, Alabama. Of course, it's the SEC heavyweights all on one side. Cool, awesome, love that. But segueing into that, obviously, we're gonna talk some college World Series tonight. The field of 8 is set. Games will start on Friday with one side of the bracket, and then of course the other side will play on Saturday. As we all know, the bracket is double elimination. If you lose, you go to the loser side to face the loser of the other game in an elimination game. And then whoever the final 2 teams are will play a best of 3 for the College World Series title. Gentlemen, we kick it off with the two of the teams making their first trips to Omaha in program history. One team has been kind of a fan favorite. They've been one of the hotter teams coming into this tournament in West Virginia against probably the Cinderella darling of this tournament, the Troy Trojans, who've been playing well in this tournament as well. One of the last 4 teams in. They were one of the last 4 teams added into the tournament, and they made it all the way to Omaha. So what do we think of this matchup starting out?
I am hoping Troy wins. I am seriously hoping Troy beats West Virginia. But West Virginia, I mean, against Cal Poly, I mean, come on. Super regionals, 17-1 in one game. They beat them. I mean, come on. Really? West Virginia is a sleeping giant in this Omaha College World Series. They could do some major damage to some teams in this. So I think West Virginia is gonna beat Troy rather easily.
So I was at a camp yesterday out here in San Antonio, and there was a coach from University of Arizona, and we were all kind of talking about the teams in the North. This coach, they said, do not sleep on West Virginia to make a run in the top 8. They are legit. And I understand your skepticism of them, Scott, because of who they played in the Supers, and Cal Poly, who they caught fire. They ran into some good fortune out in the regional, but then they ran into a buzzsaw that was West Virginia, and really they were outclassed by West Virginia. West Virginia is the real deal. Yeah. They're a fun team. They pitch well and they hit. And I know pitching, it always gets the conversation going in the final 8 in Omaha, but you got to score runs and hit. You got to be able, especially you got to take advantage of that big ballpark that is out there and really put yourself in a position where you can do some damage, because I think we're going to see a heavy offensive final 8 because of what we have at Georgia, what we have with Texas, what we have with Oklahoma and their offense, what we have with West Virginia. Alabama has a strong offense. UNC, like, this is one of the better groups of offense baseball that we're going to see in the College World Series, in recent times. So I think they fit. It kind of matches well to what West Virginia does. They pitch well, but they can swing the bat. So I'm not calling them to say that they're going to make it to the final, but they're going to challenge these other teams in there. And a lot of us were talking. We were all the college coaches. We were surprised. We were a little surprised by Troy, but what we were kind of, and we said, and I know I picked Little Rock to beat Troy. We were a little bit disappointed that what Little Rock didn't show up as when they had this in the Super Regional against Troy and Troy, Alabama. But Troy was the hot team, and they took care of their business. So I think this is an interesting matchup that I think we don't need to sleep on. And it being the first game of the weekend to open up, this could be an intriguing. And I don't know how you really want to view it, but I think because of the situation that West Virginia is in and the power that they do have and their ability to swing the bat and hit, it's a matter of who of those two teams, which are the hot teams. Both of them or you can group them as one of the hot teams in this tournament going into the final 8. Who is the more hot team? That's going to be the one that's going to win this game. Again, if you put it on paper, sure, West Virginia is the better team. I don't know which way to go on this one, though. I really don't, because God, Troy looked good against Little Rock. They absolutely outclassed Little Rock.
They did.
And if we're playing on paper, it's West Virginia, but we don't play the game. We don't play the game of baseball on paper, though.
Mm-mm. It could go either way, and that's what's the fun part about it is you don't expect a matchup like this to be a fun matchup. But like you said, Jonathan, they handled Cal Poly with Troy handled their business with Little Rock. Of course, West Virginia did the same with Cal Poly. So it's
would we all agree that West Coast baseball this year was much overrated? I know USC got to this super regionals against North Carolina, but would we say that West Coast baseball was a little bit more overrated than?
No, because their style of baseball, they play it really well. Yeah. They pitch. Pitching out west is always going to be really good. Right. That is a hotbed of pitchers. California area is always going to be one of the better pitchers in the country. The problem is they're a not a lot of power offense, straight contact, small ball, run and hit offense. That's where you put them. That's why they get in trouble, because that offense isn't sustainable in a tournament.
Right.
Power lives. I mean, again, I know we're in a era of the last 10 to 15 years talking about power numbers are the key of baseball, and it's always about the power and whatnot, but it really is. If you cannot score runs in bunches, you do not win in this game in today's game anymore. The old school style, which is what the West Coast offenses run, cannot be. Go back and look. You mean to tell me if UCLA played Georgia in the Super Regional, that we were going to have the same matchup that Georgia and Mississippi State was? No. Georgia would have put 10 runs on the board, and UCLA would have scored 1 or 2 runs.
Right.
So until they figure out how the offenses have evolved and how you have to score in bunches, those schools out west will never compete for a World Series. They never will.
And that's a shame, because, like you said, it's a pitching factory out in the West Coast. And that would play really well in Omaha, I believe. And because they can't get out of their own way sometimes, they don't make it to Omaha or they get knocked out early. They lose their first 2 games and they're done. So to me, until they can figure this stuff out, I agree with you, Jonathan. There's not going to be a lot of West Coast national championships.
Like I'm pretty sure every team that's in here is either in the central part of the country or on the East Coast.
Yeah, East Coast, somewhere on the East Coast. Yeah.
Trivia question, real quick. Who was the last California team to win the College World Series?
Would be USC. No,
more recent. USC hadn't won one since the '80s. It's a little bit more recent than that, but it's been 20. It's been almost 20. It's been almost 15, 20 years.
Is it Oregon State?
That's where I was going.
Alan, I said California team.
Oh, California. Wasn't UCLA. Wasn't USC. Was it UCLA?
No. Maybe making me second guess this, but I'm pretty Fresno State.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, Fresno State.
Yeah, Fresno State.
I don't think UCLA has won a national title in the last 15, 20 years.
I don't think so either.
And
Danny's putting me out a year. Maybe I might be a little bit wrong. Now I got to double check.
I don't think you're right. I think it was Fresno State. Now that Jonathan says it, I'm kind of shaky on it too.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was Fresno State.
UCLA was 2013. Okay, so I was wrong. All right.
So it was UCLA.
Fresno State was 2008. Fresno State was 2008. So UCLA was the last one in 2013. So we're talking 13. It'll be 13 years that a California team has won a national title.
I mean, that's crazy. That's still crazy, though. That's
all that good baseball that was. I mean, UCLA was a wagon this past year. They were 54-6, something like that. They were like.
They were the best team in college baseball, and they got ousted in the.
I don't know it was that close in the regular season, to be honest with you.
Because the Big Ten is not good in baseball.
No, I know that. And that's the thing. Yeah. You're playing teams. Nebraska is the only other good team in the Big Ten, I think, in baseball. And they lost in the regional.
Ohio State had a good year this year. It wasn't. I mean, again, to their standards in baseball, it was a good year. But they're not a powerhouse in baseball. But to the standards, it was a good year for them. Nebraska, yes, they're pretty good. But I mean, again, like that's really Oregon. I mean, but again, if you talk about the traditional Big Ten schools, they're never good in baseball.
Yeah, the SEC, the ACC,
and the Big 12,
and the Big 12 were the 3 best conferences for college baseball in America.
You got one Big 12 team, no ACC in this tournament. Oh well, yeah, no, one ACC. Sorry.
Yep.
I mean, obviously 5 SEC, and then the other schools on there as well. So, but yeah, I kind of Big Ten's not that into baseball as some of the others.
No, because it is what it is. It's because it's hard for those northern schools to compete when they can't step on a ball field until March. They do nothing but travel games. A lot of those northern schools, Notre Dame, which is a good baseball program, they're on the road for the first month. They travel down to Texas usually for 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah,
playing travel games, and then they finally get a chance to either play. They'll go to Florida as well, and then they'll finally get to play at home in March.
They go play these beginning of the season tournaments in Houston, in California, in Florida. I mean, that's basically what it is until, a lot of these colleges play preseason games against Major League Baseball teams.
For a 12-year period, Notre Dame hosted a round robin in San Antonio. Think about that. Notre Dame hosted a round robin, 3-4 games in San Antonio.
It's unbelievable. It really is. I mean, last year I started getting into these beginning of the season tournaments in Houston and Florida and all that. I mean, there's there's some really good teams that play in these tournaments at beginning of the season, and there's some really good tournaments. But again, then once March comes, they're back home and they're playing not great teams. So it's a shame. Like I said, it's a shame that these cold weather teams have to wait till March or early April to get home games.
It's crazy. It's crazy. So the other side of the bracket, you've got, well, really the team that's kind of been the bridesmaid, but never the bride. They've been, North Carolina's been to Omaha multiple times. Almost, I believe they've been double-digit times to Omaha throughout their program's history, but they just never have won the big one at all. They have yet to win a national championship. Going up against an Ole Miss team that kind of squeaked in out of the SEC, but did win their regional, did win their super regional against a pretty good Auburn team this year. Auburn just kind of fell apart there at the end. And again, this is an Ole Miss team that won a national championship 3 years ago. So they've been in this situation in the past. They have recent success. But the question's got to be about North Carolina. Can they finally break through and get that glass slipper for the first time in program history? Against, well, they got to not. I can't say easy path because Ole Miss is going to give them a series or give them a good game. Ole Miss is going to give them a good game, and then we just got done talking about how good West Virginia has been all tournament, and even if Troy does win, Troy's still going to give them a fight too. So it's still going to be a tough out in that side of the bracket.
Here's the only way you could say North Carolina could possibly, if they get out of their side, win. Those good teams beat each other up and are very tired, and the pitchers are not on their game for 2 of the 3 games. Whoever they play, if they get out of that side of the region. I don't know if they will or not. They should, but I don't know if they will. That's the only way I can see North Carolina beating that other side of the bracket. Other than that, I think that other side of the bracket is just, it's too good. Texas, I mean, you name your team, that side of the team, that bracket is really good. West Virginia, I mean, Oklahoma, I mean, those teams are really good. So it's going to be tough for North Carolina to win a national championship going up against those teams.
Oh, man, I'm on their side of the bracket. North Carolina can be the favorite. And I kind of said this last week when we talked about it. They're good. I know they get. I know Southern Cal kind of pushed them a little bit. And I just think Southern Cal kind of, they were really hot. There are a lot of people underestimated Southern Cal this year. But they had the cross country trip to North Carolina and they threw punches, and North Carolina, took them and withstood them and was able to walk it off and eliminate Southern Cal. But for what the body of work has been this year, North Carolina is, I won't say but they're one of the more talented teams that's in this tournament.
I would agree with that.
And I do feel they are on the lesser side. And I hate to kind of say it that way, that, with Troy, Ole Miss is going to be really good. That's going to be a really good ball game. It's North Carolina and Ole Miss. West Virginia, Troy will be, a good game. But I think West Virginia, again, just the talent they have, they're going to be a tough team to go against. There's something about this North Carolina team this year. I think they have it. They finally have all the pieces in play for them. They pitch really well. They do hit. Are they the most talented team? No, they're not the most talented group. But goodness, it's something about this team. It's something about them this year. I think, and I think they got it all together. They're on the side of the bracket where it's winnable for them. They can make it to the finals, and I think they have the depth to really challenge. So, if they have a good showing against Ole Miss, I can almost sit here and say, you punch the ticket for North Carolina to be in the final.
They could almost be sitting wherever, waiting for the other side of the bracket to finish, because you're going to see a lot of teams. You're going to see that side of the bracket. A lot of teams are going to have one loss because that side of the bracket is tough. And North Carolina could, if they beat Ole Miss in the opener that they play, they could just breeze right into the championship series against whoever. So, again, name your team. It's gonna be a really good. If North Carolina is there, it's gonna be a really good championship series against whoever comes out of the other side. So
you're basically guaranteed an SEC team in the final because one half of the bracket is all SEC. But yeah, I personally want to see West Virginia, North Carolina, because I think that would be a fantastic matchup on that side of the bracket. Especially, we talked about it. West Virginia's pitching has been great going up against that North Carolina offense. I think that would be a fantastic matchup to watch. And who knows, that side of the bracket, it may not look good on paper compared to the other side, like we were talking about, but they might end up stealing the whole tournament, stealing the show for the whole tournament. So I'm kind of intrigued to see how North Carolina plays out, and especially against an Ole Miss team that's actually been playing pretty well leading up to this. So, and again, you just knocked out one of the top 5 teams in the country in Auburn. So, Ole Miss they're kind of riding on that high right now going into this tournament.
Yeah, but again, it's going to be a fascinating College World Series when it starts on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So,
these are just the Friday matchups too. We got 2 really good, intriguing matchups on Friday to start this out. So I'm very excited to get this going and very excited to get this underway. Then we moved to Saturday, and while go ahead, Scott.
Before you go to Saturday, here's the real question: who is winning the shots challenge out of these schools?
Ole Miss.
You think Ole Miss is going to win?
Ole Miss, yeah.
I can see West Virginia. I can see West Virginia because Pat McAfee is going to show up, and he's just going to drop money.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
You know, so I can see West Virginia winning it.
He's gonna have Country Roads on repeat.
That's fine. All right. Hey, get your your shot winning, T-shirt and everything this year, because it really, it's an asterisk. There's going to be an asterisk in it because it doesn't. You're not actually the Jello shot champion if LSU's not there.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's I was just going to say that. Omaha was praying for LSU to get there somehow, some way. They were praying for LSU to get in the college playoff.
Now, it's funny. You have some LSU fans that have been messaging and posting to Rocco's, the bar that does the Gel Shot Challenge, about doing a buy-in for LSU fans who are LSU fans still they buy tickets in January to go to Omaha.
Yeah,
they buy their flights, they buy their hotels in January. They still travel there. You'll still get 15,000 LSU fans showing up. So there's been a group that have been trying to petition Rocco's to have a LSU buy into the Jello Shot Challenge.
That's crazy.
LSU fans don't lack for a party. They'll be at a party, and the College World Series is a party, so they will be there. They will be there.
Absolutely. All right, so our Saturday games kick off with the 2 teams who had to wait a little bit due to the rain delays in their game 2s, respectively. But Alabama, Oklahoma, I mean, this has been the same song and dance for the last 2 years in other sports. Just seems like ever since we got to the SEC, we're always somehow paired up with Alabama in just about everything. Likewise with the next matchup with those 2 teams. But very intriguing matchup. Oklahoma, of course, coming off of beating Georgia Tech and Kansas back-to-back. Impressively getting the job done. Again, this was a team that obviously a lot of people gave zero chance to get out of their region because they were going up against Georgia Tech. But, took care of them 2 straight games, took care of Kansas 2 straight games in Lawrence, which has been tough to do this year. Alabama, of course, winning their regional, and they haven't been slouches either. I'm actually okay with this matchup because I think we'll be fine. I could see this, going either way on either side. I could think you could get a rematch between these 2 maybe in the final potentially depending on how Georgia Texas plays out. But this is gonna be this is. I don't like being on this side of the bracket, if I'm being honest. I don't like being on the side with Georgia and Texas either. So it's like it is the SEC gauntlet is basically what it is. But what do we think of this the Alabama-Oklahoma matchup?
You can't get away from Alabama, can you, Alan?
No.
It's either Alabama or LSU that Oklahoma always ends up running into in some form or fashion.
Thankfully, we don't play either of them in college football this year. It's like, wow, that's a first.
I actually think an early loss on this side of the bracket is not a killer. I just do.
Ooh.
I think you could see an undefeated team on that side of the bracket playing a one-loss team in the championship, and that one-loss team winning the first game and making it a do or die to get to
a winner go home. Go
home, call it to get to the college national championship series. So again, Oklahoma, Alabama, whoever loses that game, it hurts a lot, but I don't know if it's a total killer for them. So we'll see. I could be totally wrong.
I mean, to your point, Scott, again, to bring it up, Oklahoma did get blasted by Georgia Tech that first game, and then they ended up beating Georgia Tech back to back to win the regional. So, like you said, It's not impossible.
No, it's not impossible. It's tough, but it's not impossible to come back from it. So,
especially when all these teams have played each other so many times this year, they know each other so well. Anything could possibly happen.
If you want me to pick a winner on that side, Texas would be the team I think that would
that makes me sick.
I know it does, but they got a really good number one pitcher that they can throw at anybody, and he can just dominate them. So, again, it's going to be tough. Every team in that side of the bracket is offensively good, really good, and pitching is going to be whoever is the best pitchers are going to win that side of the bracket. That's what I think, because everybody's going to hit. So,
yeah, I'll disagree in one instance with you, Scott. With this bracket being what it is, you lose, you're in trouble.
Yeah,
you're in trouble. Yes, I agree. Like it's not. I agree to the extent that it could be. Well, hey, you have a shot because again, you have a fighting shot to do so. But this is powerhouse baseball on this side of the bracket, and I think a loss is going to be such a hard hole to climb out of it. If you're on the other side, if you lose, I don't think it's as detrimental. But this group, this is the we're talking about with the World Cup coming, starting up tomorrow. This side of the bracket is a group of death.
Yeah.
This is you're talking about powerhouse offenses that with pitchers that can go and at least get you an opportunity. But the offense is going to be flying into these two games.
Yeah,
the ball's going to absolutely be jumping and going. You're going to have a lot of offense taking place. Man, you're almost so desperate to have the first win. I think all four schools are going to play this first game in the biggest must-win mentality, because the last thing you want to do is put yourself in a position where you are you're so behind the eight ball with a one loss. So I can't fathom trying to come out of the hole of this group. I think for you, Alan, I'm going to be honest with you. I think having to play Alabama first, it depends on how your pitching is. I know your offense is good in Oklahoma. I don't know if it's good enough, especially with the pitching being very up and down for most of the year. You're kind of putting yourself in a very bad situation going against this. Now, again, it's not as bad if y'all playing Georgia. If y'all playing Georgia first game, I don't think you got a shot.
Mm-hmm.
I just think this y'all do a lot of good these other three teams, they do a lot of great things. And I think y'all did enough to get there. Can y'all?
I can see us beating Alabama or Texas. I can't see us going up against Georgia and having any kind of success because that's just a wagon. That's just a wagon in Georgia. The only reason I think we could beat Texas is just because of the rivalry motive, and I think we're on par with what Alabama could do. But Georgia's just too good. They've been the most consistent team in the SEC all season long, and
they've been the most consistent offense. Their pitching is still this year. Their pitching has been shaky, and Mississippi State, and I'm not taking anything away from Mississippi State as far as that's a strong offense, but Mississippi State hasn't been one of the top offenses. They look like a top offense against that Georgia pitching in Athens. So that's I do agree with Scott saying that the starting pitcher for Texas, it's going to be Cozart. I would not be shocked if he does go and shuts down the Georgia offense enough to let the Texas offense jump and go and pull ahead. Georgia's pitching staff and I think that's a big detriment to Wes Johnson this year. Wes being a pitching guy, being a pitching coach as the head coach for Georgia, and your pitching staff hasn't been great. That's a detriment. That's a problem. So Georgia's probably not thrilled they're having Texas. I think they would have rather Alabama or Oklahoma in the first game because they know Texas has the arm that goes in game one that can slow down, not shut down, but slow down their offense enough. But if that offense, if they're barreling baseballs, Georgia is, and they're finding a way to drive the baseball out of that big ballpark, then yes, I agree. Georgia's going to be the tough out when it's all said and done.
My picture is better. I like this picture much, much better. It's much clearer.
Yeah. I was going to say it's less smoky. Did they
I was
clear
getting
out?
tired of looking at that other one. I looked at it like I'm done with it.
They cleared out. They cleared the smoke out of the nursing home finally.
Yeah, we had an emergency
right
fire.
now.
Huh?
That's in 4D at the moment right now. He's in upgrade mode with it.
Absolutely.
I just got a new iPad, so I wanted to see if the picture was like it's really good. I like it better, so I'm going with it.
So yeah, I mean that again, and I just saw this statistic too. Is 4 of the last 5 national champions have come out of Group B. So there's that side of the bracket could potentially have your national champion.
I mean, with the College World Series, I think the team that wins it is a very deserving champion. I don't know, other than Troy, I don't know if any team winning it would shock you. Would it shock you, Jonathan, if any of the other teams won? Maybe West Virginia? Maybe.
West Virginia, Oklahoma, Troy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think Ole just because it hasn't been the greatest year for them, they got hot, and they'll have to show that they're going to have to get hot again.
Right.
But I'll throw in there with what their body of work has been this year. I'll throw Ole Miss on that list as well. Troy, West Virginia, Ole Miss, and Oklahoma as the 4 teams that I would be surprised if they do win.
Right. Right.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be happy if Oklahoma wins, but that just tells you how good this team has played this season to go through the gauntlet of Georgia Tech, Kansas, and now potentially 3 of the top teams in the SEC to try to get to the national championship game.
Listen, they had an easy game against Kansas. Come on.
Oh, I'm sorry. The KU fan was saying that we were going to get swept out of the building, so I don't want to hear.
Down with the SEC. That's what I heard this weekend.
That's all I heard. That's all I heard all weekend. Down with the SEC. Down with the SEC. Well, guess what? The SEC is still alive and kicking, Tanner. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think the 8 teams that are there are very deserving to be there. To be honest, I don't think there was one fluke. I mean, Troy, it maybe, but I think all 8 teams that got there are deserving.
The fact that Troy came from the last 4 in and fought their way to get to Omaha is impressive. So yeah. I'll give them that for sure.
Right.
Alrighty, so we'll end off on this, gentlemen. Who is our national championship series going to feature, and who do we have winning?
I'll say Texas, North Carolina, and I'll say North Carolina wins.
Finally, they finally get that glass slipper.
Yeah. Yep.
I'll go North Carolina. I do think Texas on that side of the bracket is the better team, but I can't. I can't. Screw Texas. I'm not picking them. Give me Georgia, North Carolina to win it all.
You know, I told myself today I was going to be unbiased in this prediction.
Oh, here we go.
But I don't want to do that. I'm going West Virginia, Oklahoma in the championship. But here's the thing. I think West Virginia is going to win it all.
Ooh.
I think West Virginia is a wagon right now. I think
you just want the invite on Pat McAfee's show. That's what it is.
Oh, absolutely.
Pat McAfee, Alan Perales, and Dan Housen all on this Pat McAfee show.
I actually do think West Virginia is going to win it all, though. That is my pick.
That would surprise me.
I just don't want to. I don't want to hear all these Texas boys that I coach over here in Coastal Bend talking about their noise of Texas winning a national championship in baseball. I don't want to hear it.
They already won it in softball, so I already have to hear it.
These boys don't care about that, so they're not going to hear. I'm not going to hear much about it. It's either going to be football or baseball. I'm going to hear about it more. So I would rather Texas not win it, and so I don't have to hear them talk so much.
But
I work with a couple. I work with a couple of Texas fans, so I'm going to hear it a lot too. So
any of those 4 teams on that side of the bracket could get there, any of them, and it would not surprise me. So
yeah, North Carolina. Yeah, North Carolina, I believe, has been to the championship series, but they have not won a national championship,
right?
In program history, so they're still looking for their first.
Yeah,
as we speak.
No question.
All right, gentlemen. So here's the final part of the show. It is something we'd kind of put off for the last couple of weeks, obviously because of how busy we've been. But it's time for our top 10 power rankings. This is for the month of May, although we are a couple weeks into June. So this is going to be fun. This is going to be interesting because I think we're all going to be in different, other than maybe like the top 3 or 4. I think we'll all be kind of in different areas, kind of like what we were last week when we did this. So who wants to start off at number 10?
Oh, I'll go because
real quick. I'm going to have to hop off here because I got a 3.5 hour drive. I'm going to put my top 10 list here in our chat. Okay. But I do got to get going. I got a late night drive coming ahead of me as I'm recruiting this weekend. So I hate that I'm missing this with you because I love doing a top 10 with you boys. But give me a sec. I'll put my top 10 in the list on the chat here. But I got to get going here in a sec.
All right.
Jonathan, real quick, where can the people find you at if they want to follow you everywhere and whatnot?
On Twitter at Grishman27 is biggest. I'm out recruiting. Been traveling as much as I have. I'm exhausted, guys. I've not been in Beeville but for 5 days and 3 weeks right now. So I've been all over. Like I said, I'm heading out to Houston for 4 more days. So if anybody's out in Tomball, Texas, outside of Houston, and want to come watch me umpire and recruit a little bit, you can come see me on the ball field out there. But really see all the stuff that I'm doing with Coastal Bend and our recruiting. We're still a couple months away from the boys showing back up, but we got a lot of good things going on over here at the school, at the college. We're getting things going there. So at Grishman27, I'm also me being the social media director. You want to see a lot of the stuff that the Coastal Bend baseball team is doing. You can follow at CBC Baseball #2, or CBC Baseball 2, number 2 only. See a lot of the stuff that we've been doing with the boys and the team coming up as well. Our fall game starting up in September. So be able to take a look out and check out the baseball team over here at Coastal Bend, as well as all my running around and whatnot. As I tell you, it's worth it because, again, all the work I'm doing is just going to make my vacation so much better. It's going to be so amazing when I get to the Dominican Republic here in a couple of weeks. So I'm getting to be –
oh boy!
Everybody does that. When I say where I'm going on vacation, everybody does that. Ugh.
No. It's the pictures on the beach.
Everybody's like, they're all like, I hate you. You're going to go to the beach. You're going to do this. I'm like, yes, absolutely. I'm going to be on the golf course for 2 days. I'm going to be swimming on the beach. I'm going to be, absolutely. Leave me alone. I'm going to, nobody call me. Nobody text me for 7 days.
It's the way it is with me when I'm on vacation. I don't want to hear a phone at all. So
Absolutely.
But Jonathan, again, be safe on the road. Thank you again for hopping on, and we'll see you next week, my friend.
Sounds good, guys.
bye, Jonathan. Thanks.
All righty, Scott. Go ahead with number 10, my friend.
All right. So Jonathan said this. Was he saying this last year or the year before? If you let me down and you screw me, you'll never be in my top 10 again. Chicago White Sox, number 10. They Murakami is on the IL. He's injured out right now, and they still find ways to win. Either they pitch really well or up and down the lineup. They're finding somebody different every night to come through. They're in first place by percentage points right now. Shocking as it may seem, the Chicago White Sox are in first place right now in the AL Central and have a real shot at making the AL playoffs this year. So my number 10 is the Chicago White Sox.
I have the Guardians at 10. Something's not going right, and it ain't just Tanner Bybee.
Welcome Sam Dean to the program, please.
And
Bobby G.
Their offense is kind of stuttering a little bit. You almost got swept by the Rangers, which is not good, although Texas is playing a little bit better lately. That's still not a good outing. When Tanner Bybee has the best outing of the weekend, that's not a good sign. And they've lost 7 of their last 10 games. And again, like as you mentioned, Scott, they've allowed the White Sox to now take over the AL Central. So they're still a halfway decent team for an American League team standards. So they have a really good offense still, which is why they're still at number 10 for me. But I've got the Guardians here sitting here at number 10. And Jonathan also has the Guardians at number 10.
Okay. Number 9 for me is the Padres. Great start to the season. They've now struggled. Fernando Tatis and Manny Machado have to get this together. They have not produced at all this year. Tatis especially. I think he's got 1 home run so far this year. That is not Fernando Tatis. He's usually in double digits someplace, but he's at 1 right now. So he's become a warning track power type of guy. I still think they have enough talent to make the playoffs in the National League. I still think they have enough talent to win a series in the playoffs, if it's not the Dodgers or the Braves this year. But I'm worried about the offense. I just think that there's again, like you said with the Guardians, there's something off about the Padres as well. So the Padres are my number 9, but it would not shock me if I don't put them in my top 10 the rest of the year. So Padres 9.
Oh, by the way, I just saw the video of it. Seth Lugo took the ball to the head. That's what happened.
God.
That's why he got taken out of the game. So very understandably so. 106 mile an hour hit ball right at your head. That's not going to be pretty.
Nope, not at all.
So Jonathan's got the White Sox at 9. I have the Seattle Mariners. Because, one, they're in the AL West. The AL West has just been terrible all season long. Right now, they're losing to the Orioles, which is another bad team. But they've been too inconsistent for me to put them any higher. I know that they're leading the division right now. They're up by 3 games on us. But they're the only team in the division that has a winning record in the division. But the thing is, they're too inconsistent. Their bats have not been good. Again, they're losing to the Orioles right now, which is, again, it's par for the course. I don't understand why this team, Cal Raleigh has been a no-show all season long. So after the miraculous year that he had last year, he's just been a complete no-show. Julio's reverted back to what he was a couple years ago. They really miss Eugenio Suarez so badly. They miss Suarez so badly in this offense. Because now it's like they just can't get anything going. If they just find a little bit of consistency, they can easily win this division just because of how bad the rest of the division is playing. But I can't put them any higher than 9 because, much like the rest of the AL West, they're just not good enough.
I hate this part of the top 10 because it's so confusing. I got the Cardinals at 8. I mean, I just where this came from, I have no idea. Number one, and number two, they're still in second place. They're still challenging the Brewers. They're still 8 games over 500. They have been playing good baseball. Um, Jordan Walker's leading the offense, and other than that, there really is not another guy. It's been mostly in the pitching staff, and it's been this guy one night, this guy another night, this guy this night. So to me, the Cardinals are 8, but again, they're like the Padres. If they could go into a tailspin and be out of this top 10 for the rest of the year. So I guess they don't hate Oli Marmol as much as Jonathan thought they did. So
I mean, to your point, Scott, the last time we did a top 10, I had a team in number 2. They're not even in my top 10, which is the Chicago Cubs. So
really, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
That, I mean, that's
Cubs have completely fallen out of that favor. So Jonathan has the Phillies at 8, and I also have the Phillies at 8 because they're starting to get hot. Since they made the manager switch, I think they've only lost like 1 or 2 series since they made the manager switch to Don Mattingly. So the offense is starting to fire back up. Kyle Schwarber continues to hit the ball hard and out of the park. They're finding a little bit better consistency in the pitching side of things. Still nowhere near the Atlanta Braves, but at the very least, you have another NL East team that's still at least playing better baseball than what they had at the beginning of the year. They're finding better consistency with it. So, out of this group of three that I had here at the bottom, the Phillies are playing the better baseball, so I have them at number 8.
I got Seattle at 7, and the only reason I have them at 7 is division leader number 1. There are 2 reasons: division leader number 1, and I think their pitching is starting to get on track here. So if their pitching gets on track, that helps them out a ton in the AL West. Offensively, they're very challenged. Again, I'm with you. They're very inconsistent, and that's why they're at 7 for me and not any higher. Defending them, got to the ALCS last year, lost to the Blue Jays, and now they're going through the same stuff they went through beginning of last year. So Seattle's at number 7 for me.
Well, Jonathan thinks like you in that regard because he has Seattle at 7 as well. I have the Cardinals at 7. They're second place right now. Yeah. They've been consistently good this season, which, again, you mentioned has been a shock this year because we expected the Cardinals to be the bottom feeders of the NL Central for a majority of the year, and they're playing really good baseball. So Cardinals are hanging in there. They're fighting through it. They're winning games that, many people didn't expect them to. They've challenged the Dodgers and won a series against them this year. I think they played the Yankees this year and have won against them. So they've played above their expectations. They really don't have any expectations in St. Louis right now, and that's kind of why they played so well and why they're one of the more dangerous teams in baseball this year is because they really don't have any expectations at all. So yeah. I got the Cardinals at 7.
6 for me is the Phillies, and since Don Mattingly has taken over, they're 27-12. Schwarber and Hopper have again supplied all the power as we thought they would. Christopher Sanchez, he's been off the charts great, and he's the leading candidate for NL Cy Young, even over Skeens. His ERA is about 1.6. I think he's 7-2. He's leading that pitching staff, and as long as they got Sanchez going the way he's going, as long as they got their bats with Schwarber and Hopper going the way they're going, they should win some games. So I think they're going to make the playoffs. I think they're going to make a run at the Braves. So Jonathan, block your ears. But I think it's coming. I think it definitely is coming. So
I kind of wish Jonathan was here right now just to get his reaction to these. But,
wow. Listen, I'm not making the same mistake I made last time we did a top 10. So with the Braves. So
yeah. So he's got the Cardinals at number 6, and oh God, Scott, come back.
I'm right here. I haven't gone anywhere yet. I'm just trying to get something.
Jonathan has the Cardinals at number 6, and I have the Chicago White Sox at number 6.
Well, you're the biggest White Sox fan on the Record Sports
this
platform.
No, that's Jay. Jay's the one that said that.
Oh, okay, Jay is. After Nick Watkins, of course.
he's technically right though right now because he had the White Sox winning the division. So I said they would at least be a wild card team. I did not expect this from Chicago at all, especially what was it 2 years ago? They were the worst team, not just in baseball, but in Major League history. As far as their win-loss record, they were the worst team in Major League history. And 2 years removed from that, you get one Japanese import, and guess what? Everybody else starting to buy in. You mentioned Murakami hasn't been playing the last few months, and guys like Varsho have stepped up and played well. And this is a team nobody really wants to face. We were talking earlier. It's like, who could be one of those sneaky good teams in the American League this year that nobody wants to play? That's probably going to be the Chicago White Sox this year, surprisingly enough, which, did anybody have that on their bingo card in 2026? Absolutely not.
Of course I did. Of course the White Sox.
Absolutely not. So, I know I'm the only person that will ever say it in this context, but I have the Chicago White Sox at number 6.
So 5 for me is the Rays. They're just doing Tampa things. Kevin Cash, one of the best managers in baseball. They don't have the big names. Drew Rasmussen struck out 12 or 13 today against the Red Sox. I know it's the Red Sox, but he struck out all those guys. Yandy Diaz and Junior Caminero leading that offense. I don't know how much longer they can keep with the Yankees. Maybe until Judge comes back, then they will fall back. But again, they're a threat. They don't have the biggest payroll in baseball, and they just keep winning. So the Rays are number 5 for me.
Mm-hmm. I got the Rays at 5 as well. Just because for all the same reasons, Kevin Cash has done such a fantastic job with that team, and they've been playing on another level. They're playing small ball, which is hard for teams to defend. And it's been fun. Been a fun team to watch all season long. Jonathan has the Yankees at 5. So
I knew it was coming.
He's again, this is a guy who does not like New York whatsoever.
Yep. To the Yankees, I got the Yankees at 4. And the reason being is, look who's on the IL for them. Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, and Max Fried. And that's a big chunk of your baseball team. How much longer can they sustain playing good baseball against good teams without those 3 in the lineup? I don't know. I think they might fall back a little, but when those guys come back, they'll retool again and be fine. But again, the Yankees do have some flaws. Their offense, top to bottom, their lineup is not great. Top part of the lineup is fine. Bottom part is a problem. Ben Rice has been a revelation for them. He's done everything for them. He's the leader in that team right now, is Ben Rice. So, again, the Yankees are at 4 for me. I hope they go down on with Jonathan, but I think they're going to be in the race all year long. So, Yankees at 4.
Yeah, not to mention their pitching staff has been phenomenal all season long so far. And it has been one of, again, the only American League pitching staff that has done anything of significance as a whole this year. So, again, I have them at number 4 as well. Jonathan has the Rays at number 4, so he kind of flip-flopped them with them there. He's got the Brewers at 3. What do you guys got?
I got the Brewers at 3 as well. I think the Brewers, again, Pat Murphy's done a phenomenal job. 2-time manager of the year in the National League. They're doing it. Mizorowski and Sanchez are the 2 leading contenders for Cy Young. I think Jonathan would say Skeens, but Skeens has struggled lately. So I think Miz has led that staff, and I think offensively they do just enough to win games. So the Brewers are 3 for me.
Mm-hmm. Which I have the Dodgers at 3, and what do we expect? It's the Dodgers. We expected them to be here. We expected them to be the best team in the NL West. We expect them to kind of coast through the regular season. I think we talked about it multiple times. It's like they kind of coast through, and then once October hits, that's when they start getting serious. So the Dodgers are number 3. I will mention, though, they did have a 6-0 lead on the Pirates. The Pirates have come all the way back. The Pirates now lead 9-6.
Oh, jeez.
So the Dodgers bullpen has given up a total of 8 runs in the 7th and 8th inning. They gave up 3 in the 7th, 5 in the 8th. So the Dodgers are doing their best Washington Nationals impersonation right now.
I'm going to come on next week with the Dodgers rant. Dodgers is 2 for me. I mean, the World Series champs, defending World Series champs. It's almost like the regular season has just become boredom to them, and they're waiting until October comes. So, I mean, Dodgers are number 2 for me. Shohei, Freeman are leading the offense. They're not getting dominant pitching other than Shohei right now. So that concerns me a little bit, but they're 8 games up on the Padres right now. They're going to walk to the NL West title. So the Dodgers are 2 for me.
Yeah. And now the Diamondbacks have overtaken the Padres as the second best team in that division. So so now it's like again, it's like you mentioned, Scott, they're still 8 games above them in that regard.
Yeah.
I love what I'm seeing from Milwaukee. I think you've already said it. Pat Murphy's done a phenomenal job with that group. We picked them last year to be dead last in the NL Central, and they ended up not only winning the division but making somewhat of a mini run in the postseason last year. You've got talent up and down the board. Jacob Mizorowski has been phenomenal. Leads the league in strikeouts. He's been great all year long. They're finding multiple ways, getting contributions from multiple guys, finding ways to win games. And it's just, and out of that cluster that was the NL Central, we're starting to see now that the top teams start to break away from the rest of the pack. And it's been apparent all along that the Brewers were the best team in that division, and they're starting to prove it. And they have the pieces they need. They have the pieces to challenge teams like Atlanta and LA and try to take that National League pennant. So they just got to get over that hump. They really do.
Yeah.
And I believe our unanimous number 1 is the Colorado Rockies.
No question. Listen, the Rockies have played much better. They just beat the Cubs. No, it's the Braves. I mean, what the Braves have done. Acuna went back on the IL today, so he's back on the IL. We didn't mention that earlier, but I don't think it really matters. I think they have enough offense in their pitching. Again, they're a really good pitching staff, and as we talked about earlier, if they add Rawls Chapman, that's going to mean you got to get the Braves by the 6th inning, because if you don't, it's lights out, game over. So it just comes down to the fact that who is the Dodgers' biggest challenge this year? And to me, it's the Atlanta Braves. And it might not even be close this year. So Braves are number 1 for me. And I think they'll be there for a while. I can't see them letting up on this. So,
I mean, they have one of the largest division leads in baseball. They've been phenomenal all season long. And here's the thing, they're going to get better. They're going to get better. That's the scary part, because we just mentioned, oh, by the way, let's go get Aroldis Chapman to add to this bullpen. Oh, Ronald Acuna may be out for a little bit, but he's going to come back healthy. It's a wagon. It's a wagon in Atlanta right now.
I mean, who saw Michael Harris coming? There's another guy, Michael Harris, hitting home runs, playing good defensive outfield, doing a little thing. I mean, they just have an all-around good team. And, Jonathan was not high on Walt Weiss's hired. He's done a great job. So the Braves are number 1. I don't – they might be better than the Dodgers overall. Not saying, they get in the playoffs in the series, the Dodgers might win it, but because they got Shohei and a couple other guys that they can throw at the Braves and maybe slow them down a little bit. But until I see it, the Braves are staying number 1 for me.
Yeah. I don't think they're going to be moving off number 1 anytime soon.
No.
Especially if they continue to play like they're playing.
Yep.
It would take like a Herculean disappointment for them to fall off like this. And again,
exactly.
I mean, they're losing to the White Sox right now. So
again, if they lose to the White Sox tonight, Jonathan's going to be beside himself. I don't know if he'll show up next week, to be honest with you. So
Again, that's why I have the White Sox higher at number 6 because I think they're playing great baseball right now.
Should tell them
especially when you can take 2 of 3 from the Atlanta Braves. Come on
no
now.
question. No matter where you play them, no question, without doubt. So.
The White Sox too. Looking at their record, they're not good against 500 competition. They're not good on the road, but at home they are 21-11 at home.
Yeah,
that is becoming a Southside is becoming a hard place to go play baseball now because of how good the White Sox are at home.
Yeah, if you play 500 on the road and you can do what the White Sox are doing, then you're going to be in the playoff race the whole year. So, kudos to them. Doing a great job. So,
absolutely. Well, Scott, what you got going on the rest of this week?
I just thought, no, I'm just kidding. ESPN Radio tomorrow, Rec Room Sports. It presents ESPN Radio 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern. Lock it in this weekend. Saturday, I think it's Saturday. Tanner to be determined in terms of if he'll be there or not. But Nick Bodkins will be on with UFC Freedom Picks. UFC's at the White House this weekend for their card. So that'll be interesting to see what happens. And then actually tomorrow night I will be on Fall Start Thursday as well with Nick, Sam, and Tanner. I think Tanner will be there. He might not be there. I don't know. And then Friday night I'll be on the FFPC Extra Reps Fantasy High Stakes program, 10 p.m. Eastern. So tune into that as well. So busy weekend for me, but looking forward to it. Everything. So, and then back in next week for whatever Washington Nationals pitfalls may happen again. So.
Oh, it always happens whenever we're about to go live or whatever happens. We'll probably talk more College World Series, in fact, because it'll probably be mid rounds of the tournament at that point. So, as Scott mentioned, ESPN 690 tomorrow in Jacksonville, ESPN 690 Jacksonville, Rec Room Sports Radio, 4 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Eastern. You could also catch it on this YouTube channel if you want to watch it there. Friday in the Hoop as well. We'll probably be reacting to this game tonight and potentially Game 5, which will be back in San Antonio, I believe, will be Friday, if not Saturday.
Saturday. I think it's Saturday.
For Game 5 of the finals. And
God. Did you see the score of the Spurs game?
Yeah, it is. It is not pretty. And there's a lot of angry Knicks fans because of how this game, not just because of how this game has gone, but there's a lot of questionable calls tonight. A lot. A lot. It is bad. It has been a badly officiated game tonight. But then again, it's like you got to show up. You can't. The Knicks are playing emotionally angry right now, and that is costing them big time.
You can't do that. Time. You can't play that way in the finals. So
Pirates just beat the Dodgers too. Danny just put it in the chat. So Pirates just beat the Dodgers. So
9-8. 9-8.
That's crazy. But yeah, you got that in the hoop this weekend. Probably on Friday night, depending on what Whit wants to do. Scott mentioned lock it in on Saturday. For me, on the mat with Sam on his show, Fanboys Unleashed. That'll be Sunday night. We'll talk about Raw, SmackDown, everything professional wrestling, all the stuff that's going on, which is crazy. And then back here Wednesday night to talk some more baseball. But that's going to be it for us tonight. Any last words, Scott, before we end off tonight?
I am set. Everybody have a good night. Hawaii football is coming soon. And good night, Spotify.
Scott will now be using the iPad for his presentations because it has a clearer picture.
I'm downloading ABBA onto my iPad just so everybody knows.
ABBA everywhere.
Yeah, ABBA everywhere. Inside joke.
Yeah. Guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Again, check out Rec Room Sports Radio Show tomorrow afternoon at 4 p.m. Eastern, ESPN 690 Jacksonville, or here on the YouTube page at the Rec Room Sports. Until then, love y'all. Stay safe. Have a great night. And take care.
Good night.